a movie release date is always seen as Friday, right? So in India, the expiry day is always Thursday. So are you planning to change the trend? See, Sameer, we all know, right? So Sensex is almost synonymous to stock market in India. But do you think BSE has lacked somewhere or has not been able to capitalize on the brand value of Sensex? Yeah, hi everyone. Welcome to Dhan Podcast. Today we have a very special guest with us. With over 25 years of experience, he has deep understanding of equities, debt classes, FX, and also OTC markets. He has been instrumental in setting up and conceptualization of India's first international exchange in Gift City. He has played a pivotal role in launching of world's first option in goods contract and also electronic gold receipts in India. In his current role, he is the Chief Business Officer of BSE Group. On personal front, he is not only a good friend, but he is also a person who is just one call away in case of you need any kind of assistance. So we know each other for last 15 years and more, and whatever I know about him apart from his professional experience and professional expertise, he is humble, down to earth, a person who is not always seen on social media, but a great execution master. Let me welcome Sameer Patil. Thank you, Sameer, for taking your time out and making to our Dhan studio. So it's a pleasure to have you here. कैसा लग रहा है यहाँ के?
First of all, I should thank you, JP. I can call you JP. I always
Yeah,
call
of
you
course,
JP.
of course, yeah.
For inviting me here, for having me here. It's a privilege to be here in your studio, in Dhan studio. In fact, it gives me immense satisfaction to be here. I've seen you last 15 years. You've grown leaps and bounds, and bottom of my heart, it gives me immense satisfaction to be here and be a part of this podcast. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Sameer. Thanks for your kind words. So, Sameer, everyone knows you as the Chief Business Officer of BSE, and you have seen a lot of asset classes, the way it has grown. But how did it all begin? What made you come into financial markets? Our viewers would really love to hear you out on this.
Uh, I had never thought about it, JP, to be
Okay.
very realistic. I come from a typical middle class Maharashtrian family in Mumbai, born and brought up in Mumbai. I did my studying. I'm a science graduate from Mumbai University, and I was pursuing my MSc Part 1. When I got, I gave admit, I had a test, CET. I got admissions for the PG in NMIMS, specializing into investment management.
Okay.
And that is where my first step happened in the financial markets. I was happy enough, I was glad enough to have all my visiting faculties, the who's who from the financial industries.
Okay.
We had the likes of Mr. S.T. Garela, Mr. Maya, and all top-notch professors who used to come as visiting faculties. And they, during that tenure, those 2 years of mine in NMIMS, that taught me a lot about the financial markets, that increased my understanding. I wanted to understand more about the financial markets and wanted to be in the middle of the markets.
Mm-hmm.
And that is where the excitement generated for me.
Wow.
And that is where I thought, now this is the future. If at all I want to be there, I should be there in the financial markets. And that is where I grew.
Okay, so from financial markets to exchanges, right? So you were, I forgot to mention that Sameer was also very instrumental in developing the whole bullion business in India when he was part of MCX. So from financial markets to MCX to Forex, now to BSE. So what has been your learning experience in this journey?
No, it has been a very eventful journey, to be very realistic, JP. In fact, I was the only person from the entire batch where I was selected for the foreign broking arm of Cargill Investor Services in India, called and based out of India. We used to cater to overseas for qualified overseas corporate bodies, the foreign qualified nationals, and the NRIs who wished to trade in overseas markets. So we used to cater to them and manage the funds and trade indices like the Dow Jones and the Nasdaqs, and the precious metals like the commodities like the precious metals, base metals, and also the energy futures. In fact, the options were launched in 2004, if I'm not mistaken, in India. But I was lucky enough and to happened to trade options in since 1998. My first trade in option was in 1998 in gold. I still remember. I cannot forget that day. It was 30th of October in 1998 when there was a strike in Ashanti gold mine in South Africa, and all of a sudden gold price started rising. In fact. I remember the Friday close was around $288 per trounce, if I'm not mistaken. And in 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday market made a high of $327, $39 per trounce. And it was my first option trade. I bought an option call at 310. I paid $10 per lot premiums, and I made around $23 per lot. So that was in 3 days, because it's such huge amount of money managing portfolios for clients and all. So that was the beginning. I was there for 6.5 years, and then later on, when I came to know that there is commodities markets shaping up in India, exchanges come into play. So that is where I joined M6 in the core team, the founding team, and the responsibility of setting up the entire products on the gold and silver and the energy was given to me, and I think I've done a fairly good job there, successful job. And we today they are the benchmark contracts on the MCX. After that, after working there for more than a decade, I quit MCX in 2014 as the senior vice president for product and marketing, and I joined BSE in 15 as for to develop their commodities market, and eventually in 2019 taking over as the role as the chief business officer for this entire group. I was lucky enough, in the entire process to not only set up but also to conceptualize the PM's dream of setting up the first international exchange in GIFT City, the India INX, and I think I was a part of the team which developed that entire jurisdiction, the IFSC, to now you see a lot many things happening there. It's buzzing with a lot many foreign exchanges coming there and lot many products picking up over there. But yes, it has been an achievement.
Yeah, that's wonderful. So our listeners would really love it. So a journey from trading in options where option was not at all conceived in India to moving to one of the largest exchanges on the commodity side to being part of Asia's oldest exchanges now. So the journey has been phenomenal so far. So Sameer, let me take this question further. Right. So you have seen exchanges, capital markets, financial markets growing in India, right? From the days when it was physically settled to a day where everything is settled on mobile, right? So being a market participant, being a trading member, it makes me very curious to understand how do you see from exchange side the growth of broking industry going ahead?
Yeah, exciting, absolutely exciting. Even when I first stepped into the BSE building as part of the BSE team, and I stepped into the ICH, the International Convention Hall, I was having goosebumps because it's a nostalgic place.
Yeah.
The kind of atmosphere it would have been when there used to be ring trading, and the kind of noise used to happen, and all those when some old people still discuss about it. And I was told that when they used to trade, the voice used to go down till the church gate station. So that was the kind of noise being made in the ring. And from there, the broking and the entire financial markets have grown leaps and bounds. In 2000s, I remember large brokers using dated technologies, charging huge brokerages to clients. From there, it has come down now to the new age brokers, where the discount broking concept came into existence. And today, there are almost either they're very very competitive prices for broking, or no charges for clients. So technology is a key enabler, and it's played a very very important role, right from manual trading to now today. Your technology, you can just click, sit in your house or wherever, and just open your you have a smartphone, you open the mobile app and start trading from wherever you are, whichever city you are in. It's such ease of business. So this industry, this financial markets have grown leaps and bounds, from the trading ring to the balcony of your house.
Yeah, that's true.
It is definitely going to grow, and again I should say thanks to the role the technology has played over here, because it has enabled end users, the millennials, the housewives to come forward, participate. just sitting in their kitchens or their verandas and start investing through the mobile apps provided by member brokers like you. And I think you also have a fantastic app for that matter.
Yeah, thanks for that. So our whole thesis is that we want to democratize investing and trading in India. So that everybody who has a willingness to invest, and also who understand this market, they can use features and technology to fulfill their dreams of investing and trading. But one thing, Sameer, I'd also like to bring here, as you were also saying that we have moved from a ring-based trading to a mobile where people can trade from their balconies. We also should not forget the kind of leap of faith which our regulator has shown.
Absolutely.
See, whatever I have read, because in 1992 I was not in markets, I was studying. So the leap of faith which SEBI took when they allowed electronic based trading to happen in India, and in 90s our country was not the developed country, we were in shambles, right? So our forex reserve was depleting. The government had to really take those drastic steps of liberalizing the economy. At that point of time, nobody would have thought from the regulator side that we would be one of the few countries who would open up their economy to electronic based trading, where in the most of the developed countries the trading used to happen on a ring outcry system. So we are really grateful to the way that the vision of our regulators, our policy makers, and they had that leap of faith that being an underdeveloped country in 90s, right? So we were one of the most advanced in when it comes to capital markets and financial markets. So that has really led to growth. And where we are today, you take anything on the financial services side, whether it's UPI, capital markets, we are way ahead. We are the leaders in terms of adapting this.
Absolutely, JP, I agree with you. In fact, today the entire growth of the Indian capital markets is because the trust the investors have in the
Yes.
in the Indian capital markets, and that is purely due to our regulators SEBI for such strong regulations. Not only in India, so whenever I travel into various other global destinations for conferences or attend some conferences, India is India is looked at a very different stature when it comes down to capital markets. Right. It's not only innovation but a regulator to the highest degree of regulations that the SEBI has brought into the capital markets, and everybody looks at it at a very different standard. And
True.
when they come to know that SEBI is the regulator, I mean, it's in safe hands altogether.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah. Sameer, if you don't mind, can I ask you a direct question? I always am very candid in asking or putting my views. So, say, Sameer, we all know, right? So Sensex is almost synonymous to stock market in India. But do you think BSE has lacked somewhere or has not been able to capitalize on the brand value of Sensex?
Today, GP, if you ask anybody, any person, as you rightly said about the brand value, any layman on the street, you ask him, कि आज market क्या खुला in the morning, when the market's open, he'll say 300 point खुला, ऊपर खुला या 400 point ऊपर खुला. What
Yeah,
does
precisely.
that mean?
That's
What
what
does
I'm
that
saying.
mean?
Yeah.
That means he's referring to Sensex.
Sensex, yeah.
So for them, for anybody in India, markets are Sensex. And I'll just to give you a number again. In fact, the kinds of returns, revenues, I can give you some number on that. Returns, the CAGR provided by Sensex. If you have invested, suppose a lakh of rupees in 1979 in Sensex, that lakh of rupee would be the value today would be close to 6.5 crores in 2023.
Mm-hmm.
If you would have invested the same amount of money in gold, for example, we do a close, there's a close correlation which is told to me between either you invest in stock markets or commodities like gold, it's a safe haven, and so on and so forth. So if you would have invested that same 1 lakh rupee in gold in 79, that would have fetched you today 2.5 crores.
Okay.
So this is what Sensex has brought to the table for the general investors, for a layman, If we would have stayed invested, put invested in index in Sensex at that point of time, this is the kind of returns you would have made.
Now, in this era of technology, right? BSE being one of the oldest exchanges in Asia, what all things you guys are doing differently this time, to cope up or to keep pace with the changing technology and the changing ecosystem around?
So I would like to answer this in two parts, JP. One, you asked me what are you doing differently, things differently, and second was technological changes. So as you understand, BSE has undergone entire technology change in 2013,
Okay.
where we changed our entire technology. We adapted the Deutsche Post platforms and reinvented and re-innovated the entire piece. Today, we are the world's fastest exchange with a speed of 6 microseconds. So this is one of the best technologies which is used in India, not only India, globally as well. That is one part. Second, what are we doing differently? As you're aware, JP, it brings smile, as you said, it brings smile on your face. On 15th of May, 2023, BSE relaunched its Sensex futures and options contracts, derivatives in Sensex and BANKEX futures and options contracts. We are uh, glad enough and we are happy enough to say that today the last expiry, in fact, last Friday when the expired, the Sensex contract expired, we clocked a turnover of 3,42,000 crores.
Okay.
Not only that, the open interest on the Sensex contracts, derivatives contracts, was 3.3 lakh contracts.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah.
So this is really I mean heartening to know, and it's in a very short span of 6 expiries. So we started on 15th of May, and today, tomorrow again is an expiry though. But the kind of participation that we have seen is very, very positive. What we have done here is we have done two things over here. One, we have reduced the lot size as far as the Sensex contracts are concerned,
Okay.
and the BANKEX contracts are concerned. Earlier, the Sensex contract was the price multiplication, the multiplier was 15. We have done a multiplier of 10 now. So the contract size is reduced.
Okay.
In Sensex as well as BANKEX.
Okay.
Now what happens? What is the positive here? Once our strike price is 100, a difference of 100 at 100 intervals. So value is less, volatility is higher compared to other indices, and thus it gives an immense opportunity for market participants, traders, to do a lot of churning between the prices, and also for the investors to invest, because it is Sensex is sensitive index to with 30 stocks into it, and for 14 sectors. uh, so 12 sectors, and it gives you a lot of opportunity, it reacts faster to any movement. So it's sensitive in nature, and thus it will give you immense opportunities for trading. So this is one part where I said we reduce the lot size. And second, what we have done this is we change the expiry.
Okay.
Earlier it was a Thursday expiry. Now we have moved on to the Friday expiry, and that
In fact, I was about to ask you this. What was the rationale of changing the expiry day?
So what we did is before GP finalizing the expiry, what we did is that we did consult close to 300 members across India.
Okay.
And we formed a working group also for about top 30-40 members in India. Spoke to them, and unanimously they chose Friday as the expiry, because from Tuesday to Thursday they are blocked with their funds, trading other indices.
Okay.
So they thought Friday, we leave alone Friday. Nobody. So for the traders, weekend starts on Thursday. So broker members thought that if you have a expiry on Friday, what would happen is brokers will come, they'll utilize funds, and then it's a new revenue stream for us. And any which ways there is no. If you look at the other indices, there is no expiry on that particular date, so it's left to only Sensex and BANKEX.
Okay.
So that was the thought process, which we thought we should capitalize, and based on the feedback given by our broker members, we shifted our expiry. We did two things: reduced our lot size, and second, shifted our expiry from Thursday to Friday. And that is where we saw after the Thursday expiry, and we've seen a lot of participation. We have seen wider participation with varied broker members across India. Their clients, all top members have gone live with the systems. So launching was just one part of it, but there was a lot of background work that had to be done. It is easy to launch a product, but then if you look at it in a holistic way, you need to see the front office, the back office, the vendors, the broker members, their clients enablement to participate, so on and so forth. So it's a Herculean task.
Yeah.
Though we have clocked 3,42,000 crores a day turnover, but I think this is just a beginning, and there's a long way to go. We need to enable all our broking members, all our member brokers, to enable themselves or to trade on the BSE derivative segment. Unlike other exchanges for BSE, first we have to create the need, and then after creating the need, it transformed into participation on the BSE equity derivatives platform. And still we look forward for other broker members also to go live, the back offices, the front offices, back office vendors, the front office, the trading platforms, so on and so forth. The largest of the largest, they are still activating BSE equity derivatives segment. So this, as I said, this is still the beginning, and there's a long way to go.
Oh, that's very interesting. And congratulations, by the way,
Thanks,
for
thanks.
achieving this milestone.
Congratulations to my entire team at BSE, and my new CEO has joined with tremendous energy that flows from the top.
Yeah, that's true. So can I say on a lighter note that in India, a movie release date is always seen as Friday, right? So in India, the expiry day is always Thursday. So are you planning to change the trend?
So we have gone ahead with Friday.
Yeah.
We have seen a lot of traction there, and I mean, let us see. Let us continue with what is.
Let me ask you another question on the same vein, right? Uh, BSE has always been known as an exchange for investors. So you have highest number of stocks being listed on BSE. Most of the investors who prefer to take delivery has BSE as their preferred exchange. So what different are you doing for investors or for delivery based trades? So we heard you on the derivative side. So a lot of great initiatives you have taken, but our viewers would really love to listen, what are the new things you are doing on the investor side on delivery based trades.
So good. That's a good point that you have made, JP. BS is also called as a temple for wealth creation.
That's right. Yeah. So as you gave the example, right,
Yes.
from index of 100 to
Yes.
almost 63,000 now.
Yeah. Now, what we have done differently this time is in all the stocks listed on BSE, the price below 15 rupees. The tick size earlier there was 5 paise, which we shifted to 1 paise in those stocks earlier.
Okay.
And all the stocks whose prices below 15 rupees, the tick size was 1 paise. There we saw our market shares were reasonably higher than our existing market share, which was close to 7.5%.
Okay.
That we did some study about it, and then we thought, why don't we extend this horizon from 15 rupees to 100 rupees? So what we did is all stocks whose prices are 100 rupees and below, we change the tick size from 5 paise to 1 paise.
1 paise. Okay.
Earlier, the market share there in those 100 stocks was close to 9% or. Today, in just 3 months, what we have seen is our market share from 9% has increased to 12%.
Wow.
In those stocks. So all stocks below 100 rupees, where we have changed the tick size from 5 paise to 1 paise, our market shares have increased from in this stocks, 14 stocks are in the F&O as well.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
And this is as far as equity and the currency also. In March, what we did is in the options in the USD INR contracts, the strike price interval from 20 paise, we have reduced it to 10 paise.
Okay.
So there also what we have seen is a large, there was a demand from the end users, the participants, the hedgers, so come down to participate on the BSE currency derivatives platform. So by doing this, it lowers the impact cost. It gives them a better opportunity to mitigate their risk, reduce the exposure, risk exposures, and to it transforms more into churning their positions. So,
Yeah.
so in a way, we have done three changes. One in the
Okay.
equity derivatives, as I said, SENSEX and BANKEX, we have reduced the lot sizes, shifted the expiry. On the equity, we've reduced the tick size in all
Okay.
stocks below 100 rupees from 5 paise to 1 paise. And on the USD INR currency derivatives options, we've reduced the strike price interval from 25 paise to 10 paise. What is more important is when we are saying 25 paise to 10 paise, BSE is the only exchange where the 25 paise still exists. So we have 10 paise and 25 paise both. So 10, 20, 10, 20, 25, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 75, 80, 90 and figure.
Oh, so you have wider.
Yeah, so both coexist. So anybody who are used to trading 25, 50, 75, they have still have the
Okay.
opportunity.
Okay.
Those who want to explore themselves in a 10, 20 strike prices, they can come and do that. So
Okay. So that brings more participation.
yes, yes. The
Okay.
idea is
That's
to bring
yeah.
more participation, reduce risk, and lower the impact cost for hedgers, traders, and participants.
Wow, that's interesting. Yeah.
So also on our GP on our derivatives, yeah, on the if you participate in the Sensex futures and BANKEX, the you save a lot of money because you save absolutely, you have no cost as far as the trading on future Sensex and BANKEX futures are concerned, because you save 100% on the cost
Okay.
compared to other exchange. And on the options on the Sensex and BANKEX, the charges are only 1/10 of what the other exchange charges.
Oh, okay. Okay. So that's interesting. Yeah. So Sameer, in last 8 years of your journey at BSE, at various roles, right now as a CBO of BSE, so if you have to reflect upon and find out what has been your great learnings or key learnings, so what those would be?
So, JP, if you are in the financial markets
Yeah.
and been associated with the financial markets for so long, whether whatever tag you have in front of your name, it
Yeah.
hardly matters. Every day is a new day.
True.
Every day is a learning day, new learning day. There are various learnings on a daily basis. So this is a learning for me. Every day is a new day. One fine day you go to office and you get something new to understand, to learn. So not only markets, the ecosystem, the surrounding, and this is real time. So there is no scope for any kind of mistake. If you do any kind of mistake, I mean, you have to pay heavy penalties for it.
Yeah.
So it's you have to be very, very cautious. Every day is a new day. Every day is a new. You cannot have, yesterday I did, so today is going to be fine. No, not at all. So it's every new day there's a new learning. Whatever, whether you're a CBO or not, does not matter.
Yeah, that's true. I fully agree with you. So I always give this analogy and this parlance, right? Our industry, the financial market, especially the broking industry, as you rightly said, every day is a new day. And if you compare it with some kind of industry, I always see some kind of similarity with the airline industry. So every flight you take off, right? So those check boxes have to be ticked.
Right.
So if you have, whether you fly first time or the millionth time, so every flight is a new flight for everyone in the ecosystem, be it the passengers, the crew members, for the airline brand and everything. Similar thing works for us as well, right? So every day morning you have to go through that same rigor, same process, and ensure that every day you have to be up 100% uptime and ensure that your clients, your transactions, everything happens seamless.
Right.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. So, Samir, just one more thing, just like to understand, since you have an exposure of global markets, working with global exchanges, global brokerage houses, and also with the India's leading exchanges. So there are a lot of practices which happen in international markets in terms of bid-ask spreads or direct market access, or you also have those CFDs available, but those things are still restricted in Indian ecosystem because our regulators don't allow. Do you think any possibility going forward there our exchanges, our regulators would also give it a thought and try to make it more vibrant as international trading community or the exchanges are?
If there is something uh, our regulator, see, for us as an exchange, whatever a regulator says is regulated only, then we will venture into it.
Yeah.
If they are traded overseas exchanges, or they have been successful on other global platforms or other global exchanges, hardly matters to us. So we will always do, and whatever our regulators say permit us to do within the entire gamut of things.
Mhm.
But when you rightly said the CFDs and all those products, just to throw some, there's something also called as EA, if you've heard about it.
Yeah, yeah.
EA is expert advisors,
Yes.
and I've seen this for last 20-25 years.
Hmm.
Some broking promoting this EAs. Those they have their books and they show their trades, and
Yes.
they're basically called copy trades.
Yes.
So when you spoke about all this, this also reminds me of when that this is also concept available in the global markets,
Yeah.
but a long way to go in India.
So, well, after this lot of intense discussion, so Sameer would also like to hear some lighter side of you. So, when you are not in office, when you are holidaying, what's the favorite thing which you prefer to do?
My favorite thing is, one, I like to be with my family.
Okay.
I have two kids,
Yeah.
a son and a daughter, and
Yeah.
a wife. So I like to be with them because I don't. Most of the time, we are traveling on weekends. Also,
Yes.
many a times you are traveling. There's hardly any time. So as much as time I can spend with my family, I do that. I am not a avid reader though,
Yeah.
but whenever I get some time, I am an ardent cricket fan, so I watch cricket matches. I don't miss cricket matches. As
Yeah.
and when I get some time,
Mhm.
I watch cricket. I love to listen to music. It gives me immense satisfaction, and it also gives me, you know, mentally, it reduces my stress a lot. I love Indian music, especially retro Kishore Kumar. I'm a ardent Kishore
Yeah,
Kumar
yeah.
fan.
So on cricket, we have bumped couple of times in IPL match at Wankhede, right? Yeah. So Samir, let's get into a rapid fire kind of mode. So I'll ask you a few questions. You have to answer me instantly, right? So favorite movie,
Agnipath, old Agnipath.
favorite actor,
Amitabh Bachchan.
favorite team in cricket, of course.
India,
Favorite IPL team,
Mumbai Indians.
favorite song.
Kishore Kumar, uh, जिंदगी का सफर.
Samir, I know you sing well. Publicly आप शायद नहीं गाते हो, but as you said, your Kishore Kumar is your favorite singer और जिंदगी का सफर है. So would you mind just humming a line for us?
जिंदगी का सफर है ये कैसा सफर, कोई समझा नहीं, कोई जाना नहीं.
Wow. So thank you, Sameer, for this wonderful discussion. So our audience would have loved listening to the serious side of it, what BSE is doing new. Also to hear some lighter side of Sameer Patil. So thank you, Sameer, again. Hope to catch up again at our Dhan office very soon. So would love to host you again.
Thanks, JP. Thanks for inviting me, and I look forward for your participation on BSE Equity Literacy. Thanks,
Thanks.
sir.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks.